Obstinate stomach trouble healed. There is no doubt that by far the greater number come to Christian Science by the way of physical healing. But there are those to whom this does not particularly appeal. In the hope that it may be of benefit to some such, and in gratitude for help received, I submit my own experience. 3 years ago I knew nothing of Christian Science, aside from the knowledge gathered from the daily papers and current literature. When I thought of the subject at all, it was to class Christian Science with various human theories, with which I could not be in sympathy, for they seem to rely upon both good and evil. I had never known of a case of healing, had never read the textbook or heard of the Journal or Sentinel. But I would sometimes see people going into the Christian Science church. I was tired of trying to find anything satisfactory in religious belief, for it seemed as if God either could not or would not bring into harmony the terrible conditions existing in human society. I had quit using any form of prayer except the Lord's Prayer, and even then omitted the words, "Lead us not into temptation." How I longed to know just a little of the why and wherefore of it all. Here is where Christian Science found me. I was thrown in contact with a dear friend of whom I had seen very little for a year or more, a thoroughly educated woman and a thinker. She told me she had taken some treatments in Christian Science for a physical trouble, and had become very much interested in the study of Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mrs. Eddy. She asked me if I would like to look at the book, and I said I would be glad to do so. The first chapter, Prayer, appealed to me from the first, and when I came to Mrs. Eddy's spiritual sense of the Lord's Prayer, Science and Health, page 17, my interest was fully aroused. I knew that in a dim way I was learning what it means to pray without ceasing. Very soon I bought a book of my own, and with the help of our lesson sermons, as given in the quarterly, I began in earnest the study of Science and Health in connection with the Bible. I stood very much in need of physical healing at this time, having suffered for several years from an obstinate form of stomach trouble. So far as I know, I gave no thought to the benefits I might derive physically from the study, but I did believe this science held the truth of things. And I was so absorbed in getting an understanding of the principle that I thought very little of myself. After about 3 or 4 months' study, I realized that the stomach trouble was gone, and with it went other physical troubles, which have never returned. This healing was brought about by the earnest, conscientious seeking for the truth, as contained in the Bible and interpreted by our leader in our textbook, Science and Health. I have since learned more of the science of healing, and have been able in a small way to help others in need. I have also learned that in living and loving is healing realized, and in reflecting divine love, I have the signs following. When we think of the pure, loving, unselfish life Mrs. Eddy must have lived in order to become conscious of this truth and give it to us, words are a poor medium through which to express the gratitude which her followers feel for her. It is best expressed by obediently following her, even as she is following Christ. H.T. Omaha.